One of the great promises that HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us, assures us in this week's Parsha, is that in Behar-Bechukosai telechu, that if we follow in the ways of Hashem, if we are committed to a life of Torah and Tefillah and mitzvos, v'nasati shalom ba'aretz, there'll be peace in the land, v'cherev lo sabor ba'artzachem, and there will be no swords, there'll be no wars. We'll have nothing to worry about. And indeed, that is the Medrash in Eicha tells us the story that Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi would dispatch Rav Ami and Rav Asi to different communities to establish more Torah institutions. And one particular community they went to, they show up and they ask the people, bring us your Neturei Karta. Neturei Karta means not what we think about Neturei Karta, but the guardians of the city. Bring us your guardians of the city. And what did they do? They went and they brought the police chief. They brought the people who do shmirah, who do security. And they looked at the community and said, these aren't Neturei Karta, these are Charuvei Karta, these are the destroyers of the city. Destroyers of the city? That's because when you've put all of your hope and your faith in the officers and in the police and not on God, you're destroying your town. Because once you're Bechukosai telechu, if you follow in the path of Hashem, v'cherev lo sabor ba'artzachem, you'll have nothing to worry about. And Rav Shimshon Pinkus then asks, says, so many people wonder why it is that the Haredim don't enter into the army, don't enlist in the IDF. And the answer they give is, what do you mean? If we study Torah and mitzvos, we have a promise, a haftacha, v'cherev lo sabor ba'artzachem. What greater peace than that? What greater assurance than sitting and learning and studying Torah? That is being part of the army of Hashem. I'm doing more than a soldier. Says Rav Pinkus, our Haredi community, as he writes, needs to think long and hard about this. We need to look ourselves in the mirror and ask, are we doing a good enough job? Are we really treating each and every day as if we're in the army, that our life, or that Klal Yisrael's life depends on my next davening, on my next seder in yeshiva, on the next mitzvah that I do? Or do we just use it as an excuse? And the reason I bring this up is not to get into politics between the Haredi and Dati Leumi communities or the general Israel politics, but just for us who live in Chutz La'aretz to consider this idea, because each and every day hundreds of rockets are falling down on our brothers and are raining down on our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael. And we can't be in the army at this point. We're not in the army. We don't have an argument of whether we're going to sit and learn in the Beis Medrash versus we're going to fight and defend our country. Because we only have one option. And that is for us to sit and learn, to daven, to do something. Everyone here in America has an obligation, a responsibility, a duty to make a difference in some small way. And if the promise from HaKadosh Baruch Hu is, in Bechukosai telechu, then there'll be shalom in the Eretz, v'cherev lo sabor ba'artzachem, then we have to do something. Yes, we have busy lives, but instead of just spending all of our time watching the news and listening to the latest breaking news and updates about what's happening in Israel, maybe take some time out of your day to say Tehillim, to learn a little bit extra, to do an extra mitzvah, do something, be makabel upon ourselves, something that can make a difference, because we have a haftacha, we have a promise from God that if we do this, there'll be peace in the world, peace in the land, v'cherev lo sabor ba'artzachem. Each and every one of us has this duty, this responsibility, this achrayus, to make a difference. Let's not squander this opportunity for us and for the rest of Am Yisrael. Have a wonderful Shabbos.